The Flower Mound Jaguars are faced with another test, another playoff play-in game here at Neil E. Wilson Stadium in beautiful Flower Mound, Texas, alongside Hayden Bumpus. I'm Shepard Branch. Hayden, Jaguars could not get it done in the Mound Showdown last week. It was a close game, ended up losing 48-45 in the second overtime. A couple questionable calls, a couple plays that didn't go the Jaguars' way. But they have another chance here to be able to make it into the state playoffs for the first time in around 5 years.
Yeah, and they have a big shot at it too. Euless came into this season number 10 in the state and have not even lived up to the hype, not even close. Going 5-3, 2-3 in district play, tied with Flower Mound and Byron Nelson right now for fourth place.
And this Euless Trinity team is facing, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 25 years in a row that they have made it to the state playoffs here in the state of Texas. And this game is a do or die for them, where it is going to be very hard for them to try and make it into the state playoffs if they do not capitalize and beat the Flower Mound Jaguars. The Jaguars are going to face a very deadly offense here from Euless Trinity. They will run most likely a triple option and maybe five or six pass plays throughout the game, and it's going to be a lot of run plays.
The key obviously is going to be to stop the run. I mean, if you look at their stats, they've thrown 8 pass touchdowns and 28 rush touchdowns. So it's not even close in comparison. And that's all led by the running back Courage Kine, who's run for over 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns this year. I think if you can find a way to stop the run, because that's really all they do, then you have a massive chance of winning this game.
And the Jaguars, they struggled last week with trying to stop the run. The Marcus Marauders got all of their touchdowns off of runs last week, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a tale of kind of two halves for the Jaguars. They really dominated the first half. They were up 21-13, and then Marcus came out and really ran train in the second half, and Jaguars were very fortunate to keep it in there. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at some highlights from last week and see what the Jaguars did well in their game against the Marcus Marauders. The Jaguars are about to get ready to kick off to the Euless Trinity Trojans. Alongside Hayden Bumpus, I'm Trevor Branch. This is Flyer Mound Sports Network and Friday Night Glory's coverage of your Flyer Mound Jaguars. Hayden, this is a nearly must-win for the Jaguars if they want to be playing come November. They're going to need to get it done here, and it's going to start on the defensive side of the ball.
Led by Connor Lee, that defense is going to need... to stop the run tonight. That is what this Euless Trinity offense is based off of. Running for 28 rush touchdowns this year. The key is to follow Connor Lee, find the ball, and make a stop.
That's exactly right. Josh Grant will be kicking off for your Jaguars, and this is going to start senior night for the Flyer Mound Jaguars. Last time these seniors will play on this field, and Trinity is going to get it in their own end zone and take it out. And they've got a blocker, and he's going to get tackled. That is number 20 for Euless Trinity, Brandon Theus, with the return, and that was number 19 for your Flyer Mound Jaguars, Addison Nilprofan with the tackle. Jaguars will send out their defense, and it is going to be led by the senior Brandon McHugh and the junior middle linebacker Connor Lee.
The Euless Trinity Trojans, I believe,
Absolutely.
Start with the ball on the 17-yard line. The quarterback is number 12. Excuse me, not number 12. I'm not sure what the number is, but that is Malini Miley.
And they're going to toss it to their running back. That is number 21, Courage Kine. And he is going to get a run for a gain of, looks like they're going to give him 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 5. The quarterback for the Euless Trinity Trojans is going to be number 3, Noah Winatier. Or Winetier.
Interesting, they're not playing their usual starting quarterback, Malini Miley. So, excuse me for that, but Noah Winatier in for the Trojans, as there is going to be a penalty down.
Flag on the play, and we'll see what the call is going to be. It's going to be a false start on the offense. That's going to knock them back the 5 yards that they just gained, and it is going to be 2nd down and 10 from their own. Looks like it's going to be the 19-yard line.
And on the tackle on the 1st down and 10, that was number 44, Connor Lee, starting it off the way he likes to start off, a big, strong tackle, pushing the team backwards, not letting them get any forward movement.
And Euless is going to go with the I formation here. First team we have seen all season that is taking it under center. They're going to pitch it out to Kine, and he's got a blocker in front of him, but he will be taken down, and there's a fumble. And we will see who comes up with it. We'll see what the call will be. And it looks like it is going to be Euless Trinity ball. We have a lot of Jaguars that are very, very happy on the sidelines because they're happy for 3rd down. It is going to be 3rd down and 4. That was a tackle there by number 41, Brandon McHugh. And Euless is going to go with the I formation again. 2 wide receivers on either side. They're going to give it off to Kine, and Kine's going to get hit a lot behind the line of scrimmage, and that is...
That's number 65, I believe.
No, 55. That's number 55.
That is Chase Sutherland. He's been one of the most underrated players on this team, and he comes in at big moments, and that is a huge play from Chase Sutherland and a huge start for this Jaguar defense.
Great 3rd down stop there by the Jaguars, and Euless will come out to punt on their first drive. Ideal start there for Coach Brian Vardaman and this Jaguar defense as Sterling Deary is going to get it at the 35-yard line. He does not fair catch it, and it is going to be downed at the 37-yard line. He will get a gain of 2 yards there. And the Jaguars are going to come out in their first offensive drive led by Jackson Avery. We'll be back right after this. To get it away in time. And he had a lot of hang time on that. Wouldn't expect anything less from the 5-star kicker from Flyer Mound High School. And the Jaguars will be out for their 2nd round of defense here in this beautiful October night.
And we would like to extend a congratulations to Josh Grant receiving his first offer from Texas Tech University.
And Euless Trinity is going to hand it off to number 5, and he breaks a couple tackles, and he's got room to run. No Jaguar is going to stop him. That is number 5 for Euless, Greg Garner, and he runs all the way out to the track. He's running so fast he can't stop. That will be a touchdown for Trinity. They will score first in this game.
And if you're a Jaguar, you cannot let those big plays break off. That's what the Trojans like to do, is confuse you with their different formations and different running backs. You have to find the ball and get to it and make a tackle.
And that was number 5, Greg Garner, and we were watching him in pregame, and this kid is huge. Got to be at least 6'4", 6'5", and just his calves were massive, and he runs very fast and very strong, and it looked like the Jaguars were just caught off guard there by the power that he possesses, and he takes it almost the length of the field there from about the 35-yard line, and he will give Trinity their first score. Jaguars will get the ball back. We will be back on Friday Night Glory and Flower Mound Sports Network. Stay with us.
All those urgent care places you drive by every day, they do look all the same, but only one of them consistently wins the Best of awards year after year. Only one of them has all those jerseys from the local high school teams, because those players sure need patching up more than most. And only one place has the same great doctors that stick around because they love their patients. That place? Rapid Med, your hometown family doctors with big ol' hearts, right here at the corner of Justin and Chinchapel Road.
Jaguars will need to erase a 7-point deficit. 8:42 left in this first quarter. Trinity Trojans lead your Flower Mound Jaguars 7-0. Hayden, about 3 plays on that drive, and Greg Garner takes it about 60 yards for the touchdown. Jaguars just could not wrap up. Looked like they were tackling a little anxious there, and just didn't expect that to happen so early in this game.
Number 91, Andrew Hackney on to kick it away. Let's see if he hacks at it here.
I like what you did there. And he pulls it, but it's still going to stay in, and Ryan Johnson's going to take it, and he's going to cut into the right side of the field, and he will be down at the 17-yard line. Fielded it at about the 8-yard line. He's going to take that to the 17, and that's going to be a return of about 5 yards there, and that's where the Jaguars will start this second offensive possession. They will need to figure out what went wrong there in that first possession, because a false start on the first play and then 2 incomplete passes and a run for a gain of no yards. The Jaguars gotta figure something out here if they want to tie this game up. Averett will be the quarterback, 3 wide receivers to the near side, and they're gonna hand it off to a Finey, and he's gonna get hit behind the line of scrimmage. And Trinity is going to do a phenomenal job of wrapping up. First contact came from number 7, Samuela Cauty.
That's fun to say.
That is.
And this Jaguar offensive line has got to find a way to give the quarterback time.
They're going to throw a screen pass to Billy Secor, and he will get hit at the 20-yard line. He will get pushed forward to the 21, and the Jaguars now have a 3rd down and 6 coming up, and they're trying to go quick to catch this very, very, very talented Euless Trinity defense off guard, because they're really looking overpowered right now.
They really are, but I think it starts with the offensive line. Like I said, you got to give Averett time. He's a young quarterback. Find a way to give him time so he can make a play.
And Averett's going to fake it. He's going to throw a screen pass to Secor again, and Secor is going to get hit. What a great play by number 17, Cameron Jones, for the Trojans, and that is going to be another 3 and out for the Jaguars as this Trinity Trojan defense is rolling.
Yeah, I think that was a poor play call in my opinion. There was no blockers there for Billy Secor, and this is a team that is coached very well on the defensive side of the ball, and they know how to tackle. They've been taught their whole lives, and that is going to be a clear roughing the kicker. Not even close, as it was nearly blocked, but then Josh Grant was tackled. So this will be a free first down for the Jaguars, and you got to do something with this.
That's a break that the Jaguars needed, is Josh Grant is pointing that the Jaguars are going to get a first down. He definitely earned that one for his team, staying in there and taking the hit. We know Josh; he's a tough kid. He's made a couple tackles on either punt returns or kickoff returns when you sit there and you see that he's the only line of defense, and your initial reaction is, "Oh goodness, not the kicker." But we got to remember that Josh Grant played linebacker in middle school and in high school before he started kicking. He is a very physical player, and I have no doubt that you'd be able to stick him in there at linebacker, and he'd want to hit somebody.
The refs are going ahead and having a conversation. They haven't called a penalty yet, but their flag is still down. And in my opinion, it's not close. This should be a very easy call for the refs to make, but not sure. They're pointing at all different people on the sidelines, and
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion going on down on the field.
I have no idea what is happening right now. They're pointing at players and people on the sidelines as if
And it looks like Coach Basil is pretty frustrated at whatever the call will end up being as they pull both teams off the field here. And we'll go ahead and take a break while they figure this out. We'll be back with the call here on Fly Mountain Sports Network and Friday Night Glory. And it looks like the officials have come up with a call here, but the offense will be walking off the field for the Jaguars. Roughing the kicker on the defense, they're going to decline it. It's going to be a personal foul on the offense.
I don't know what the personal foul was, though. This is very confusing, and we apologize for our confusion, I guess, but what was the personal foul on the Jaguars?
I have no idea. It looks like they're pointing somewhere down into the left end zone. We're going to go and try and get it from the PA announcer. And I honestly have no clue what the call is going to be, but it will not be Jaguar ball.
I'm wondering if a player was past the white line or something, or if a fan...
That's what I'm thinking.
Or
Somebody stepped on the field. Something happened on the sidelines that caused a personal foul penalty, and it is going to be Euless Trinity ball with the 15 yards added to it, as Euless is going to hand the ball off to their fullback. That's number 22, Simeon Ellsworth.
And he's going to get all the way down to the 39-yard line, and that's going to be second down and 8. We said a 15-yard penalty added to where he ran the ball, and the ball was caught at about the 45-yard line, and I think that's about where he was tackled, so 15 yards from there. So they start with great field position.
They do. They start on the Jaguar side of the field. These Jaguars are going to need to figure out this running scheme for Euless that is so tough, as they're going to give it to number 5, that is Greg Garner, and he's going to break a couple tackles, make a few spin moves, stop by In-N-Out Burger for some burgers on his way, and he's going to be a yard short of the first down, third down and 1.
He easily could have been taken down at about the 35-yard line, but lack of wrapping up ruined that. But a great tackle to prevent the first down from the Jaguars. I'm not sure which player it was.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Euless is going to run this ball on third down and 1. As they motion 2 players to the left side, they're going to snap it, and they will hand it off to Garner, and he's going to make a cut to the center of the field. He's going to get tackled by, that is number 29 for the Jaguars, David Evans, but Garner will get the first down as he will be subbed back in for number 21, Courage Kine. And Courage is going to have to show a lot of courage here to be able to score a touchdown for this Euless Trinity team to put them up 14 points. It's 5:15 left in the first quarter alongside Hayden Bumpus. I'm Shepard Branch. Euless Trinity is going to pitch it to the outside. Kine is going to find a hole. He's going to run to the sideline, and that was number 7, Dakota Nilsson, with the tackle. But that will be a first down for Euless as the pitch play caught the Jaguars off guard.
Man,
and they are going to run for another 11 yards. This Euless Trinity, this is the epitome of a ground and pound here in the state of Texas, where a lot of teams run that West Coast offense and try and spread the field. And this Euless Trinity team says, we've got kids that are bigger than you, we've got kids that are faster than you, and we're going to run it right down your throat.
Courage Kine was showing his speed right there. He is quick.
Kine is going to get the handoff again. He's going to run up the center of the field, and he will get about 1 yard after being hit at the 8-yard line. He will be down to the 7, short of the first down marker on the 4-yard line. But nonetheless, it will, as there's a flag over on the far left side of the field, it looks like. And I don't even know how I caught that. I was just looking at the first down marker. It looks like it's going to be an infraction, I think.
I don't know what that call is. I think it's illegal motion.
Illegal motion. That makes sense.
And
We're just announcers, not officials.
You could get that a lot from Trinity with their different style of. They do a lot of different formations, and if somebody's in the wrong place, it's an illegal motion or an illegal procedure.
It's very easy for them to have too many people on the ball, as number 25 is going to come in motion to the left side. They're going with another I formation, and Kine's going to get it. He's going to cut back up the center. Nice counter play. He's showing his speed. Connor Lee makes a tackle, but Kine's going to get down to the 8-yard line. It will now be third down and 4, for this Trinity Trojan team. Man, that is a tongue twister if I've ever said one.
That is a little bit of a tongue twister there, and they're going to bring
second down. It is second down.
They're going to bring in number 3, Noah Winnetier at quarterback, taking out. I believe they were going in the Wildcat there for a little bit.
And they're going to give it to Kine. Kine's got a blocker up the middle, but he is going to get hit by Connor Lee. Looks like he will get the first down to the 3-yard line. And that's going to be first and goal. This Euless Trinity team can break off that big run, but the thing that they're so good at doing is always getting positive yards. They do not get hit in the backfield because their blocking is so good up front that they will sit there and just run the ball until you get so tired that they find a hole, and then they end up doing their way with it. As they're going to throw a pitch to the left side, and Kine is going to walk right into the end zone. That is going to be a touchdown for Trinity. Now up 13-0, an extra point from taking a 2-touchdown lead against the Flower Mound Jaguars here with 2:55 left in this first quarter. Jaguars are going to need to figure something out on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Another thing Trinity does is with the run game, they eat clock so much because you're never going to stop the clock really because they run it up the middle. So you have to find a way to score quickly as there's a fumbled snap, but somehow he's able to put it through. He basically kicked it flat. That was pretty crazy.
That was a nice little rugby drop kick there. Wouldn't expect anything different from a team that has a lot of Samoans from the New Zealand area. And we did not see the haka before this game. At least they might have done it somewhere, but we didn't catch it. And Euless is known for doing their haka dance that instills fear in pretty much every single person that watches it. Whether you're another team or a fan or a cheerleader or like us broadcasters, you see that, and heck, you could probably have 10-year-olds doing the haka, and us being seniors in high school, I'd probably be a little afraid.
It's a very intimidating. I don't even want to call it dance because it's not a dance. It's a tribal
dance.
I guess.
Honestly, it is something, but Trinity is known for their traditions. One tradition that they are trying to hold on to is a tradition of making the state playoffs. They have a 25-year state playoff run that is on the line tonight. A loss to Flower Mound would be detrimental to their playoff cause, as they will kick it off. A little pooch kick to, I don't know who that is. That is number 6, Billy Zakor. And Billy Zakor is going to find a gap. He's going to break a few tackles. He's going to get all the way down to the 48-yard line. Great return there from Billy Zakora, as his shifty footwork finds his way all the way down to the 49-yard line. Great starting field position for these Jaguars.
And he did that without really any blocking. There was 5 or 6 Trojans who were about to tackle him. He made one quick move and had pretty much green grass from there. The only thing in his way was the kicker, who just barely got in his way, making him have to cut back.
Heck, he had some of his own people in his way.
He did.
He was stiff arming some of his own players.
But a great return nonetheless.
It was. Jack Miller will be in motion here. Averett's going to be in the shotgun. They're going to hand it off to Afini. Afini's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. He will get 2 yards on the run to the opposing 49-yard line. And Jaguars are going to need to change something, because they're continually going to the run right up the center of the line there, and the Trinity Trojans are just stuffing that gap, and Afini doesn't have anywhere to go. And even as talented as he is, you got 3 of those offensive linemen against Afini, and he'll lose that battle every single time. Afini's in motion. Averett will fake the handoff. He's getting pressured. He's going to throw it to Jack Miller. Jack Miller almost comes up with the one-handed catch, but it will be incomplete. 3rd down and 8 now coming up for the Jaguars. A crucial 3rd down play that they will need to convert if they want to keep this drive alive.
I would love to see, maybe not this play, but sometime tonight, that trick play that they run with Billy Sikora with the pass. I think it would be very successful against this Trinity team who is based around their defensive line, who tries to penetrate the inside.
And Averett is going to take a QB draw by himself. He is going to get the 1st down and then some. A run of 10 yards. Check that, 11 yards. He will get 11 yards on the play, and that will be a 1st down to the 38-yard line for Trinity. I'm loving the scheme that Coach Scott Grantham is putting out there. No running backs in the backfield, allowing Averett to work the way that he needs to, as he's going to throw it to Zach Welch, and he will make the catch at the 30-yard line, as Avery got hit by number 90 for Euless. That is Sika Leota.
That is a big kid. Wow. He's not tall, but he's
big,
wide.
And he was fast too. He was really chasing down Jackson Averett on that play. But you can see that the Jaguars are utilizing the thing that they are doing with keeping Averett in the backfield. And Euless is thinking that it's going to be a pass, and it looks like they're picking up the flag.
I didn't even see a flag down.
Looked like they were going to call a flag on the late hit. Looked like Jackson Averett was hit as he ran out of bounds, and looks like Coach Brian Basil is not pleased with that one, but it is what it is. It was 2nd down and 5 yards here for the Jaguars.
It was a good job from Averett to find Zach, who made a play out of nothing, really.
And Averett's going to pump fake, and he's going to look for a receiver as he's going to throw it up out of bounds. He was getting pressured. He does that phenomenal spin move where he'll sit there, and it's almost like he's trying to catch a fly ball in the outfield, where he'll turn his shoulders. He's a quick kid, and he can really outrun most any defensive lineman you stick against him. But he chose to just...
And a risky throw there, honestly. If that would have stayed in bounds, you're probably looking at an interception, because it didn't go very far.
And he didn't really have... That defender would have had a lot of open room to run, but it was not an interception, called an incomplete pass, and they're going to pick up the flag as Afini was in the area. They will not say intentional grounding, and it's now going to be 3rd down and 4 here.
I think he was clearly outside the pocket, if you ask me as well. So good decision to pick up the flag there. He was running around for 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, I'm liking these officials tonight.
So far, yes.
So far, so good. Miller's going to be in motion. Averett's going to hand it off to Afini. He's going to get hit. He's going to break a few tackles, but he will get knocked back. But it looks like they might give him a generous spot here.
Very generous.
And they will give a forward progress, and that is going to be a first down for the Jaguars. Good third down conversion there.
And just got to keep doing this. You're eating a lot of clock, preventing Euless to get the ball back, and that's what I like to see. It's been 4 minutes so far on this drive. We just got to keep grinding, keep making smart decisions. Averett at the helm of those smart decisions.
Sikora's going to be in motion. They're going to pitch it to him. Great block there by finding Billy Sikora. Excuse me, that was Averett pitching it to Billy Sikora. Good play there, as looked like the Euless Trinity Trojans were not expecting that one. Still great coverage there on the defensive side of the ball, and that was a gain of 4 yards. Now second down and 6 here for the Jaguars. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Finey in the backfield as Averett goes with the hard count there, tried to draw some of the defensive linemen and linebackers of the Trinity Trojans offsides. Did not do so, and it will be still second down and 6. 19 seconds left in this first quarter. They're going to throw a screen to a Finey. He's got blockers out front. He cuts to the outside, and he will get hit at the 18. Check that, 19-yard line. It will be a yard short of the first down now, third down and 1.
He hurdled a player and then got hit and hit backwards. If he would have fallen forwards, he would have had the first down, but a good play from a Finey. And
that will do it for the first quarter of play. Your Flymount Jaguars are down 14-0 to the Euless Trinity Trojans. We'll be back with the second quarter of play here on Flymount Sports Network and Friday Night Glory. Jaguars have a third down and 1. They have 12 minutes left in the second quarter to score. Shouldn't take that long, but we'll see what happens. Averett is going to get the snap. He is going to give it off to a Finey, and a Finey will be hit at the 19-yard line. He will not get a gain. He will not get any yards on that carry, and it's going to be fourth down and 1 here for the Jaguars. Can't think that they're going to go call for a kick here. They need a touchdown. As much as they'd love to get points on the board, the way it's looking with this defense, they need to try and catch up, and scoring a touchdown is the only way that they will be able to do that.
That's exactly right. From their own from the Trojan 19-yard line, it is 4th and 1, a big play for the Jaguars.
Averett's going to motion Jack Miller to the left side of the line, and he is going to take it on his own, and he is going to get the first down. It will be by inches, but they will give the spot at...
And it's close.
We'll see where it is. This is very close. You see the Euless coaches that are calling it for it to be...
And they're going to bring the chains out.
That's weird because it looked like he stretched his arm out far enough to where it would be a first down, but we really haven't come to expect much in these high school games.
Yeah, from
you
these
just
refs,
never know.
Yeah, and we couldn't see where his knee was down also, so we'll see. The spot looked fine to me, and they will get the first down. So a good spot, good call from the refs.
Like I
and
said, by inches.
By inches, yes.
That chain covered about 3/4 of that ball, but the last fourth was in first down territory. And the Jaguars will get a fresh set of downs here on the 18-yard line. They have 11 minutes and 15 seconds left in this second quarter. Averett will motion a finding to the right side. Averett's going to roll out to the right. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to throw it into the end zone, and he will throw it for the intended target, Jake Welch, and he does not like the call there. It seemed like there was a lot of contact as he was running to the sidelines, but it will be an incomplete pass, second down and 10 for the Jaguars.
And that play would not have happened if it weren't for a finding as a way he making a big block and preventing a sack. But a close call again. Could have been called pass interference, but could have not been called, and they went ahead and stuck with the no call.
As long as they call it like that the whole game, I've got no problem with it.
Absolutely.
With officiating, it's just all about consistency. As Averett's going to throw the pass, he will overshoot Zach Welch as he tried to go up the ladder to catch that one. Number 7 for Euless Trinity, Samuela Cauty with the coverage. And a nice little hit there on Zach Welch as he jumped up to catch that pass. He undercut him a little bit, but it was a legal hit, so there will be no penalty, and the Jaguars will have third down and 10. This secondary for Euless has been stout at covering their intended receiver as Finey will motion to the slot on the left side. Averett is going to be the lone player as he's going to throw a backside fade to Zach Welch, and he will not be able to get it about a step and a half out of his reach, and it is going to be fourth down and 10 for the Jaguars. And Josh Grant, the 5-star kicker, coming out to give this Jaguar team 3 points.
And Averett has got to find a way to be more accurate. He's been very inaccurate tonight. With the pass to Zach just a couple plays ago, way over his head, not even close.
And he's feeling a lot of pressure from this team, something that he has not been accustomed to throughout this season. As, you know, anytime you see pressure in the pocket, a second, 2 seconds after the ball is snapped, it is very alarming, and you're more worried about not trying to get sacked than completing the pass at that point. As Josh Grant is going to kick it, and it is going to be no good. He missed the field goal. Don't know if that was left or right. Thought that it looked like it was going to go in from our angle.
It looked like maybe a little bit too far right. And that is another missed field goal from Josh Grant this year. A great player that he is. Phenomenal player. Just hasn't...
He's been struggling a little bit.
He hasn't done what he wants to do.
And the Jaguars will be taking it over. Check that. Euless Trinity will be taking it over from their 20-yard line. Jaguars cannot convert on the field goal attempt from about 37 yards, and this Euless Trinity offense coming out to make it a 3-possession game. They're going to hand it off to the running back number 5, Greg Garner, who's actually listed on here as a defensive back that they have stuck at running back. This offense is really a whatever works and whatever is successful.
And that was number 21, Matthew Greenwood, on the tackle, and he was pushed back quite a bit. So a lot of yards after contact, and that's something that the Jaguars have got to try and stop.
It is still number 3, Noah Weintier at quarterback for this Euless Trinity team as they have a player in motion, and we will see a pass play here as they throw it to the player that was in motion. That is number 20, Brandon Theus with the catch. That is the first pass for the Euless Trinity Trojans, and they will complete it, and they will get the first down to the 36-yard line.
And tonight we're going to give you updates from the Byron Nelson Flower Mound Marcus game continually because of the potential playoff scenarios that could go down. And right now it's Byron Nelson is up 7-0 with 10:05 on the clock in the second quarter.
And that is going to be Garner, who's going to get tripped up at around the line of scrimmage, but stays on his feet long enough to get 5 yards on the run. It's going to be second down and 5 for the Trojans.
If I'm a Jaguar, you've got to be thinking, we need a big play, a stop, a loss of yardage, every play so far has been a gain, whether it's 1 or 2 yards at the least. But you got to find a way to hit them behind the line of scrimmage.
And it's something that, like you said, eats away clock and is so effective. They're going to give it off to the fullback as he is going to get pushed back. They will give him forward progress to the 44-yard line. And that was number 2, Dylan McGinnis. He is good, the fullback that they have been handing it off to. They have about 3 players on their offensive setup that can, 4 players, including the quarterback, that can run the ball, and that is very tricky for a defense to basically pick and choose between 4 different players of where the ball could be. Like we talked about earlier, Connor Lee is one of the best in the business at picking up where the ball is at and being able to make a tackle, as Garner is going to get lit up by Matt Greenwood, but the very large player that he is still ends up getting a couple yards after that hit, and that will give him the first down.
That was number 21 again with the big hit, Matthew Greenwood. And again, falling forward. These Euless Trinity running backs are running so downhill that they're able to fall forward. You got to find a way to hit them and make them fall backwards.
And there's going to be a pitch play to Garner. Garner's going to make a leap, but Connor Lee puts him in his place as he makes a great tackle. That will be a gain of 4 yards, and it will now be 2nd down and 6.
And it's now 2nd down and 6, like we said, from the Jaguar 48-yard line, 7:31 on the clock and counting down. And the Trojans are in the I formation. They're going to pitch it to number 21, and he's going to run for a pretty good amount. He never got really hit, but he tripped up himself, and that's a first down for the Trojans again.
And that was Courage Kine on the run. They have so many people that can run this football, and they are doing a great job of it. This Trinity team has been running this type of offense as long as I can remember. Probably before we were even born, they were doing this, and it is something that they have not veered from. They probably will never change because it is so efficient, and you do not make it to 25 straight playoffs without something working, and they're trying to make it 26 straight here tonight as they're going to give it to Kine. No, it is not to Kine. It is the quarterback that will keep it. And he faked everybody out except for, that is number 25, Josh Waters, with the tackle. He was pretty much the only player that had no idea, or that had an idea of where the ball was at. Because, at least for me, I thought that Kine had it, and he got tackled for about a gain of 5 yards, but it was the quarterback, Weintier, that had it.
And we saw Weintier before the game. He is probably standing at 5'5", extremely short, but that kid's got some legs on him.
And we'll see what the officials are talking about here. It looks like there might have been a flag thrown, and they're discussing it.
And I'm not sure what the flag is. They're still discussing. They've waved off a couple penalties tonight. Let's see what they decide as they're talking to the Trinity coaches right now.
And we'll go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with whatever the call is here on Fly Mountain Sports Network and Friday Night Glory. And it looks like it will not be a penalty on the play. Now 2nd down and 6 for the Trinity Trojans. And they're going to hold it up again. and the head official is giving one of the linesmen a signal. Don't know exactly what that is about. It'd be a lot easier if they had microphones on there.
Just like in
On the
Northwest ISD
yeah, that was
Stadium.
real nice. That was beautiful. But Wine Tier will be handing it off to Kine, and he is going to run to the 35-yard line on the Jaguar side of the field. It is going to be 3rd down and 3. Jaguars are going to need a big stop here because Trinity is running down the clock. This might be one of the quickest games that we will have all year with how much they are running the ball and how much the clock is. I mean, it's practically a running clock whenever Euless Trinity has the ball in their offensive possession.
And that's the way they like it. They like to put up a solid number of points, 30 or 40, but eat so much clock that that the defense doesn't have to be out there a lot.
And Kine running downhill is going to find a gap. He's going to break off for a run. Nobody's going to touch him, and he will score on that play from the 35-yard line. He takes it 35 yards into the end zone. As goodness gracious, he is quick. He had a small gap. He hit that gap, and then nobody was going to stop him. Broke a couple tackles. Matt Greenwood was the last line of defense, but he could not make the tackle. And Courage Kine shows tons of courage there as he will score the touchdown and make it a 20-0 game for the Euless Trinity Trojans as they tack on the extra point. Now 21-0. Jaguars have a large deficit to overcome. Nothing we have not seen before. They have overcome 28 at Hebron, and we will see if they can overcome the 21 here at Neil E. Wilson Stadium back on Flymount Sports Network and Friday Night Glory. And Ryan Johnson will retrieve this kick, and he's got some room to run. He's going to make it out all the way to the 36-yard line. We are back for the second half of action here at Neil E. Wilson Stadium alongside Hayden Bumpus. I'm Shepard Branch. This is Flymount Sports Network and Friday Night Glory's coverage of your Flymount Jaguars. Jaguars down 24-0 at the start of this third quarter, and they will need a monumental comeback to win this game and seal their spot in the 6A state playoffs.
You got to think if you're the Flowerman Jaguars, this is it. This is your only shot at making the playoffs. So you are going out there with everything you have, every play in your playbook. You're going to try and do it.
They gotta pull out all the stops as Jackson Averett gets pressured there from number 11. Samuelo Leota. That is a name, and he makes a great play there as this Jaguar offense is having a lot of trouble trying to stop this very large and very physical Trinity Trojan defense. Averett, 2nd down and 10 from the 37-yard line. They're going to hand it off to a Finey. He's going to get hit by, yet again, Leota. And that will be a gain of 3 yards now. 3rd down and 7. Another 3rd down long for the Jaguars.
Number 9, Jeremiah Tassini is down on the field. And he is in a lot of pain. It seems like maybe a cramp or something to do with his leg.
We'll go ahead and take a injury break. We'll be back with the 11:39 left in this third quarter. It is going to be 3rd down and 7 for the Jaguars. They will look to the sidelines for the play call. Averett will be the lone personnel in the backfield. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Jack Miller will line up as the tight end. And it looks like they're going to throw a screen pass to Miller. He's wide open, and Averett just cannot throw it all the way across the field. Looked like he short-armed it a little bit. Miller sat on the route and could not come up with the catch, and that is going to be a 3 and out for the Jaguars.
Again, accuracy problems from Jackson Averett. That time leaving it short, well short. Didn't even give Averett really a chance to make the catch and run with it.
I would love to say that Josh Grant could very well run with this punt, but it looks like he will not, and he will punt it all the way back. We'll see what the kick is, and it is going to be a great kick, and Jaguars are going to be able to down it at the 5-yard line. That is number 31 for the Jaguars, Matthew Jesko, who downs it at the 6. Great kick there from Josh Grant, and the 6-yard line is where Trinity will start this first offensive possession, of this second half.
And that was a booming punt of 60 yards from Josh Grant. It flew for about probably 40 yards and then took a very generous bounce. And this defense has got to figure out a way to stop all these different running backs. There's multiple of them.
And it looks like Courage Kine will be in at running back here to start this second half, as Matt Greenwood will make the tackle at the 11-yard line. That will be a gain of 5. Now 2nd down and 5 with just under 11 minutes left in this third quarter, And the Jaguars used just about a minute off of the clock in that first drive, and Trinity, if they can take this all the way down the field, they will knock out about 5 or 6 minutes, depending on how many plays they take, of clock. And being up 24-0, the Jaguars just may not have enough time to be able to score enough points to be able to come back if they can stop this offense. As number 2 for Trinity, Dylan McGinnis, will get the first down on that fullback run. Good play call there from the Trinity Trojan offensive coordinator. That is Gerald Brixey, the offensive coordinator for Trinity Trojans, and he has been on point. He has been stellar in his play calling so far tonight, as he's going to call another pitch play to the left side. Kine has some blockers, as that was McGinnis who was his lead blocker there. That's the thing, is that McGinnis is such a well-rounded fullback. He can sit there, and he is a very large player, and so he can sit there and block for this running back no matter who it is back there. But then also they can hand it off to him, and he is very quick and overpowers a lot of these linebackers and defensive linemen. So just a very well-rounded team, as it looks like there's going to be a personal foul. A little chop block there on the Trinity Trojans, so that will knock them back. Personal foul, I think 15 yards, and it's going to be first down, and 25.
And the Jaguars have got to try and take advantage of this.
Check that, 10 yards.
10-yard penalty. They got to take advantage and make it to where they can get the ball with good yardage. But you got to find something on offense. You have probably under 100 yards tonight so far.
And I do not doubt that at all, as they're going to give it to Kine. Kine is going to find a gap, and he is going to power his way all the way back to the original spot for the first down. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Gain of 10 yards for Kine, as there is 9:30 left in this third quarter. Jaguars down 24-0 to the Euless Trinity Trojans. And some score updates here from Hayden within the district.
The Byron Nelson Bobcats are up on the Marcus Marauders 14-7 with 9:45 to play. Seems like the Marauders have kind of found their groove and are going to try and make a comeback.
That's going to be a big game if Marcus can end up winning, as there's going to be a false start here on the offense.
And this would be a helpful flag for the Jaguars, and it will be a false start.
Jaguars getting very fortunate with the Euless Trinity Trojans kind of shooting themselves in the foot there with all these penalties that they're allowing, and it is something that we have not seen throughout this game, and the Jaguars are going to need to capitalize on if they want to just climb their way and claw their way back into contention. They're going to give it off to Kine, and he is going to get back to the... Looks like they're going to mark him at the 26.5-yard line. We'll see where they spot it, but it's going to be third down for the Jaguars. And this is just about as big a third down as you can have in this game. They need a stop, and they need to be on the offensive side of the ball as quick as possible because time is just running off the clock here, and they are losing chances to be able to score touchdowns.
And this is really it. This is the play that could change the whole game as they're going to go and try and pass.
And it looks like there was a lot of contact from Matt Greenwood and number 47, Laki Safi. Laki Safi. What a great name. And he tripped on Greenwood, and so they will not call pass interference. And Euless Trinity now 1 for 3, a whopping 33.3% passing tonight.
And that is 3 passes is a pretty good amount at this point for the Trinity Trojans. They usually don't pass it at all.
Sterling Deary will fumble the return, and he will get knocked backwards. He will lose about 5 yards from where he first touched the ball. We will be back with this Jaguar offensive possession. 8:02 left in the third quarter. Jaguars down 24-0 back on Friday Night Glory in Flower Mound Sports Network. They're going to hand it off to a Finey, and he's going to cut to the right side, and he will get the first down. And he was hit well out of bounds. Wasn't hit very hard, so they're not going to throw a penalty, but number 24, Toby Hara, the wide receiver slash tight end slash now playing, looks like middle linebacker, was the one to bring him down as Jackson Averett's going to run up the middle. He's going to break a few tackles, and he will get to the first down marker, and they're going to give him the first down. Another 10-yard run for Jackson Averett, and this Jaguar offense is starting to find their groove midway through this third quarter. So they throw a screen to Billy Zakora, and he gets to the 41-yard line.
It seems that this fast-paced offense has been the most successful for the Jaguars. We saw it a little in the first half. They had a drive where they moved the ball pretty well, but then decided to slow things down, and that's where they started to struggle and ended up trying to kick a field goal and missed it.
Jackson Averett dropping back. He's going to throw it to the right to a wide-open Jack Miller, who slides down to make the catch. Don't really know why he needed to do that. If he stayed on his feet, he could have gotten the first down, but
it was not a great pass. Again, it was a little outside of his reach, but he probably could have caught it and kept running, but the safe play, don't try and allow a drop to happen, so just secure it.
And Averett's going to keep it. He's going to run to the outside, and he will get a first down, but without a holding call on number 74 for the Jaguars. That's Ryan Lenheiser with the very, very obvious holding call that the whole Trinity bench was up in flames about. They were looking for that call, and they got it.
And Averett limping a little bit. He took a big hit, a straight leg tackle, as they call it, on that play, and waiting to see the call. Holding, I'm pretty positive is what it's going to be. And yes, holding on Ryan Lenheiser, we said, and a decent play is going to end up being a loss of 4 yards.
That's going to be a
or
loss
5 yards. Excuse me. 5 yards. Yes.
That will be 8. Oh, that's weird. They gave him a loss of 8 yards. I don't know why it would be 8. I honestly think that they misplaced the ball, but we'll take what we can get.
It's normally a loss of 5 yards, correct? Or 10 yards?
10 yards.
10
it would
yards.
be holding as a 10-yard penalty, but they gave him a loss of 8 yards. It is what it is. Jackson Averett is going to drop back. He's looking for a pass. He's going to throw it to Zach Welch, and Zach cannot come up with the catch. Goes right through his hands, almost intercepted by number 8, John Davis.
And again, he was an open receiver, just threw it to his back shoulder, but you got to catch that ball in that situation.
And I really don't understand why the Jaguars are out here putting their punting unit unless this will be a fake, because they need yardage and they cannot afford to give the ball back to Euless, where they can run the clock out and end this third quarter in one drive, and you're down 24 with a full quarter left. So might see some trickery here.
I think you have to go for it here. What do you have to lose?
But they're going to punt it, and it is what it is, and Josh Grant's going to punt it very well all the way down to the 6-yard line, but Euless Trinity will get the ball with 6:09 left in this third quarter. Don't really know why the Jaguars did not go for it there, but don't really think they're in a position to play it safe down 24 with a team that only runs the ball, and they're either going to use up a ton of clock and punt it back to you, or they go down and score and you're down by 5 possessions instead of 4.
And this is something that I hate to see as Jag fans leaving this game. It's kind of been a slow game for the Jaguars, obviously doing almost nothing on offense, only a few first downs, and really doing not much on defense either.
It has been a struggling game as they're going to give it to number 5. That is Greg Garner, and he's to the 50-yard line. He's to the 40. He is to the 30, and he will be forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line by David Evans and Connor Lee. That was Connor Lee coming from the line of scrimmage to come back and make that tackle. But Greg Garner breaks off a very, very long run to the 28-yard line. And one play, the Euless Trinity Trojans are now inside the 30-yard line with just under 6 minutes left in this third quarter, and they score one more time. And it is going to be a 5-possession game that the Jaguars will have to overcome without scoring a point tonight.
And sadly, I hate to say this, this is it for the Jaguars. This game is really their biggest hope on making the playoffs. You win, you're there. You lose, you're most likely not going to make it.
They will need a lot of help from a lot of different teams, as you can play out the scenarios, but basically what it came down to was the Jaguars win 2 of their last 4 games, and they're in the playoffs, and then it came down to 2 of their last 3, and really all they had to do was win one of their last 2. Preferably this game would clinch it, but a loss to Trinity was the wrong team to lose to in the last 2 games. And this game is not over. Still 5:25 left in the third quarter, but it is not looking promising for this Jaguar team, down 24-0. Second down and 1 for the Trinity Trojans on the 19-yard line. They are inside the red zone. They have been perfect so far today, kicking a field goal from around 31 yards, so just outside the red zone. But they're going to hand it off to Kine, and he's got tons of blocking, but Brandon McCoo is going to miss on the tackle, and Kine is going to get the first down to the 15-yard line. And Euless will move the chains, and the clock will continue to run once they get the chain set up.
And that has been a solid player tonight is Courage Kine, and he's been the most solid player for this Euless Trinity team all year. And he is the leading rusher and the touchdown leader. So, I mean, you got to try and stop him if you're a Jaguar, but
there's not much you can do.
You got to stop him. Well, you got to stop number 5, Eric Gardner, both having phenomenal games.
They're going to pitch it out to Gardner, and he's going to come back to the inside of the field, but the Jaguars are going to swarm tackle there. Good job of stopping Garner in his tracks, but there's a flag on the play. We'll see what the call is.
Assuming maybe holding, but it's thrown right where the flag is, and it looks like they're going to call. It is on Euless, but not sure what the call is going to be. Maybe chop block, maybe block in the back, maybe holding. I did not see anything. The call is going to be the ref leisurely walking to the 20-yard line to make the call.
Walking very gingerly.
Taking his time for sure. It's a personal foul, face mask, or hands to the face on the offense, and that's a big penalty actually. That's a 15-yard penalty. So it's going to be now 1st and 25. Ball on the Jaguar 30-yard line. 4:23 on the clock.
You do not see a face mask or hands to the face very often from the offensive side of the ball there, but Euless is going to go shotgun for the first time all game. They'll have one running back to each side of the quarterback, Winter, and he is going to hand it off to Garner, and Garner has room to run, and he trips over his own player there. He had nothing but open space. But it is number 72, Manasseh Muse, with the tackle on Euless Trinity, but for the Jaguars.
We appreciate you, Manasseh Mose, for making that tackle for us.
That was form tackling right there. It takes some real talent to tackle your own player that's behind you with your feet.
And that was just a genius play call. I mean, there was no Jaguars on that side of the ball, really. I mean, there was one guy, Sterling Deary, was over there.
You can see that the Jaguars, dare I say, have come very unprepared for what this Euless Trinity team is going with, as they're going to go ahead and call McGinnis dead, but they see shotgun for the first time and they start freaking out. This team is very young, not as experienced as some of these other varsity teams. Obviously, having a new coach, new system, can be very difficult to learn, but they see shotgun for the first time and they freak out and they do not know what was going on. And luckily, one of the Trinity defenders stops them there, as they're going to go ahead and go shotgun again, as we've got Jaguars running everywhere. They don't know exactly where they're supposed to go, but they're going to pass it up top to the wide receiver, and he's going to go up for the catch, and it is going to be knocked away by Dakota Nilsson. That was a good pass there from Winetier, as that was intended for, let's see what the number is, very, very far away, but it was intended for a wide receiver from Trinity. It looks like that's number 42. That is Tylen Williams, the 6'1" wide receiver, who tried to go up top and almost came down with it, but good defense there by Dakota Nilsson. As Trinity is going to kick the field goal, and it will be good. Jaguars now down 27-0, 2:26 left in the third quarter. They will need a miracle comeback if they want to make it to the state playoffs and clinch this game. We'll be back with the last bit of the third quarter and the fourth quarter here on Flymount Sports Network and Friday Night Glory. Stay with us.
We're back with action number 91. Andrew Hackney to kick off. He's going to do a little pooch kick, and it's going to be caught. Nope, not caught.
Jack Miller, and it will go right through his hands. And number 44 for the Trinity Trojans, that is Isaiah Munoz, will come up with it, and that pretty much sums up the day there for the Jaguars. Things just not going their way, and Euless capitalizing on every opportunity the Jaguars have given them. And it is now in Trojan possession from a pooch kick that Jack Miller just cannot come up with. It was, dare I say, not very difficult, but he just fumbled it a little bit, and that pretty much was the nail in the coffin. We still have one full quarter of football to play, but that was about the nail in the coffin in this Jaguar chance to clinch playoffs tonight.
And that's the reason they do that little pooch kick, is to make a play like that, but you can't let that happen if you're Jack Miller.
And they're going to hand it. Nope, they're not going to hand it off to Kine, as the Jaguars are ready for a run. And number 42 for Trinity, Tylen Williams, was legitimately the most wide open I have ever seen a wide receiver this season.
There was no one within 20 yards, probably.
I mean, at least 20 yards. But the wide receiver, now playing quarterback, Noah Winetier, could not make the passes. Pressure was coming towards him, and he did not handle it very well, and he throws the ball away. But it's still going to be second down for Euless. They're going to hand it off to Courage Kine, and he's going to get hit by number 24, Alec Brooks. And it's going to be 3rd down and 7 now for the Euless Trinity Trojans.
And it's nice to see the Jaguar players on the sideline still trying to pump up this student section and parent section, trying to get some sort of life into this game.
Trinity is going to go with the offset I formation. 20 will be in motion. Weintier is going to get pressure and cannot come up with it, but it is batted, and it is going to be caught by one of the linemen. It was batted at the line of scrimmage, and number 61, Mark Castleberry, the offensive lineman, will make the catch and give Euless Trinity the first down. And that play does sum up this night, as well as the breaks just are going Euless's way, and it seems like nothing, not even a tipped pass, a great play by the defense, can stop this Euless Trinity team from getting positive yardage.
And the ruling is if the ball is tipped and it's caught by anyone, it's a legal play. But if it wasn't tipped and the lineman would have caught it, would have been ineligible receiver, as Weintier is going to hand it off to Gardner, and Gardner's going to get rocked pretty hard at the 12-yard line. That was a good hit there from number, I'm not sure who it is, maybe 63? 63, that is Dylan Carrillo. And it's going to be 2nd down and 5 now from the 12-yard line.
And Euless Trinity is going to take their sweet time as there's 20 seconds left in this third quarter play. Trojans up 27-0. They will hand it off to Garner, and Garner will get almost the first down. We'll see where they spot him at. But wherever it is, they will give him the first down. And once they spot the ball, the clock is going to be running. And 3, 2, 1. That will do it for this third quarter of play here at Neil E. Wilson Stadium. Your Flower Mound Jaguars are down to the Euless Trinity Trojans. 27-0. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of play here on Flower Mound Sports Network and Friday Night Glory.
Ashley from Argyle worried more about seeing a new doctor than the finger she just broke playing volleyball.
Ashley loves Dr. Gomez.
Which is why Mom took her to Rapid Med. Again, sure, there's a slew of places that say they're urgent care, but to Ashley's mom, urgent means making her daughter comfortable while getting the very best care.
My daughter is worth it.
Rapid Med, hometown family doctors with Texas-sized hearts at the corner of Justin and Chinchapel Road.
They're going to hand it off to number 5, Greg Garner, and he will take it into the end zone. That is going to be a touchdown, Euless Trinity, and they capitalize on the muff kick there by Jack Miller, and they will extend their lead to 33-0. An extra point away from a 34-point game, and this Jaguar team will suffer its third loss in a row.
And it is sad if you're a Jaguar fan. You had so much hope going into this season, and not a lot of expectations, maybe, but a lot of hope.
They
And
they definitely put themselves gave themselves the opportunity to be able to make it to the playoffs and tell everybody that, hey, this is a different Flymount team, which it is. We have not seen a team that has played this well. I mean, you look back in the season and think about the WT White game to start off the year, where just an absolute clinic that they put on, winning 65-14. A close loss to Fossil Ridge. I mean, that's a very, very talented team with Max Aiken and Anthony Smith as the running back. Another close loss. Probably should have won the game against Timber Creek. Another close loss with the Hebron game, and then the Marcus game. I mean, those are 4 games that you could easily win, and that takes a
that puts you near,
that takes a sub 500 season to one of the top ranked teams in the district, and maybe even the state with how tough this district is. But that just comes with experience and being able to close out games. But this Jaguar team will learn, because next year you've got a lot of players on this team that are juniors right now that will be seniors, and they will have the opportunity to make some history as the kick will go through the back of the end zone. I like what the Jaguars did by sticking Billy Sikora back there instead of Sterling Deary. Sterling Deary is a integral part of the defense, but I think that Billy Sikora is a lot better at being able to break tackles and find holes a little bit more, because he is an offensive player, not a defensive player, and he's had some pretty good returns this season. But you got to think about all these seniors on this team. This will be the last time that they grace the field of Neil E. Wilson Stadium, and a lot of emotion probably running through their heads, a lot of nerves before this game, and it's a little sad. And as the snap goes over Jackson Averett's head, and he's going to pick it up, and he's going to do the smart thing and throw it out, as Jake Welch was pushed out of bounds by number 8 John Davis. But they will not call a pass interference.
A nice job from Averett to even get that ball away, to be able to throw it away. Could have been a loss of 20 yards.
Yeah, he was smart, because whenever the ball snapped over his head, it went all the way to the 4-yard line. But he looked back to see if anybody was immediately on his tail, saw that there wasn't, and so he figured that he would be able to pick the ball up and throw it out of bounds, and that's what he did. A cerebral play there as they handed it off to a Finey, and he will get tackled for a loss. But just kind of hit us, the fact that this is the last game that we'll be broadcasting at this stadium. We are both seniors, Kurt too, our director, and so it's been a phenomenal season from this place. We still got a game next week at Louisville, but this will be the last time that we will broadcast from the booth in Neil E. Wilson Stadium.
And it is sad, but I'll tell you what, it's been fun to be a part of this roller coaster ride that this Jaguar team has been on.
Absolutely. As Billy Sikora makes a great move. He catches the ball about 6 yards from the line of scrimmage and makes a couple Trinity Trojans miss, and he gets all the way down to the 44-yard line. Still on the Jaguar side of the field. They will have about 56 yards until the end zone. 11 minutes left in this third quarter. Jaguars down 34-0 to the Euless Trinity Trojans. Jackson Averett's going to roll out to the right. He is feeling pressure. Good hit there by Finey, and he's going to throw it wide left of Billy Sikora, but smart to miss on the side where the defenders were not, as it is just an incomplete pass, stopping the clock at 10:48.
There is a flag down for, it looks like, ineligible receiver downfield, just to keep on putting poor plays and poor, I don't know, just
not being able to execute.
Yeah. I mean, just nothing going the Jaguars' way. And so that's a 5-yard penalty for the Jaguars, and it's now 2nd down and 10 from their own 44-yard line. 10 minutes, 48 seconds remain in the third quarter, and this stadium is emptying out.
They're going to throw the screen to Jake Welch. He's going to make a cut in between some defenders with help from Finey and Billy Sikora on the blocking end. Looks like Jake Welch is slow to get up. He's going to be helped up, though, by number 17, Cameron Jones for Euless Trinity. Good sportsmanship there. Love to see that. And yes, the Jaguar fans are slowly making their way out of the stadium. Looks like the Jaguars will not be able to come back from this deficit that the Trinity Trojans have placed here at Neil E. Wilson Stadium in beautiful Flower Mound, Texas. It is a gorgeous October night as Averett is going to hand it off to Afeni, and he's going to get the first down to... He's still getting pushed. It will go all the way down to the 42-yard line on the Trinity side of the field. And the Jaguars are in business here with just under 10 minutes in the game, trying to score for the first time tonight.
And an update for you for the Byron Nelson Flower Mound Marcus game. It's 21-10. Byron Nelson leads.
As the deep pass downfield for Jake Welch is going to be broken up by number 31. That is Nigel Blount.
It looked as though it was pretty clear pass interference, but I think the refs have kind of just said, let's just try and finish this game. It's just been that kind of game for the Jaguars. They've gotten nothing going. I mean, in my opinion, it was pass interference, but...
This has definitely got to be one of the worst games that the Jaguars have played this season. Now this is, and you can't not give credit to the Euless Trinity Trojans because their defense has been phenomenal tonight, and their offense has been just as successful. So it was a tale of two teams where Euless, everything's going for them, and they are, on fire with everything that they're doing, and then the Jaguars just not being able to get anything going.
And there's 7 minutes remaining in that Marcus Byron Nelson game. And that keeps the hope alive for Byron Nelson. If they win tonight and Euless wins tonight, they're going to be tied going into next week. And it comes down to who's going to win, who's going to lose.
And I tell you what, it would be unbelievable to think if you would have told us that whenever we broadcasted the Byron Nelson Flower Mound game and Flower Mound went out and handily beat the Byron Nelson Bobcats, if you would have told us that they would have come back and won 3 district games against 3 very good teams, and they would have a shot at making the playoffs, I would have told you were crazy.
They were, they were
0-5 whenever we beat them.
They were 0-4 when we beat them, and they have won 2 games in a row, which is insane to me.
And that was a pass intended for number 3, Will Huber, and he had some space to catch it but could not come down with it. And it's going to be
at one
4th
point,
down and 9 for the Jaguars.
At one point, the Bobcats were 0-5, and as a first down for the Jaguars, it looks like, hopefully.
That will be a first down all the way down to the 18-yard line. That was 17-yard line, excuse me. That was a great pass there from Jackson Averett to Billy Shakur. Billy Shakur has been the best wide receiver that the Jaguars have had so far throughout the year. He has been making play after play, either catching the ball or throwing the ball with that trick play that we saw in the Byron Nelson game. He has caught for 495 yards and 4 touchdowns. That is some phenomenal numbers. The Jaguars have not had a superstar wide receiver since, and this is back in the day, this has got to be 5 years ago, but Chaz Daniels, I think.
Hunter Lee, I believe, was a superstar wide receiver, in my opinion.
He was a running back.
Well, we didn't really have running back at that point. He played running back, but he acted more like a receiver.
But
he went to
Louisiana
Tech to play receiver, I believe.
He was good, but I remember Chaz Daniels back whenever Connor Wanhanen was the quarterback. He caught for a lot of yards. I remember specifically one game he caught for over 400 yards just in one game. That was the first game of the season, and he was leading the state in receptions. and I want to say that it was Brandon Marshall who was the quarterback at the time. I think. I,
That sounds right.
he was a quarterback for the Jaguars, but as Jackson Avert is going to make a move and he is going to try and get into the end zone, I think that they're going to say that he is inches short. He's going to get the first down. But yeah, this Jaguar team has definitely taken over a new persona. It used to be, well, over the last 3 years, the Jaguars have not had a very good team. They won as many games in the last 3 years this season, or they have won as many games this season as they have the last 3 years, but prior to that, it was an offensive heavy team and not a lot of defense, as Jackson Avert is going to fumble the snap and fumble it right to himself, and he will go right up towards the goal line but will not get in, as this front seven for Euless is standing a fortified front, as they're saying that they will not let anything surpass that goal line. Nothing at all, not even Jackson Avert and his running ability.
If you're a Jaguar fan, you just want to see them finish this game with some sort of momentum, some sort of drive. You don't want to see them give up, and I'm seeing that right now, and it's nice to see out of Avert. He knows that this is senior night, as he's going to take it in for the Jaguar touchdown.
Jackson Avert runs it in from a yard, and the Jaguars will not be shut out tonight. Jackson Avert is going to score from 1 yard out.
And you can see the play here. Avert fumbles the snap a little bit, but finds a nice hole and just falls right into the end zone for the first touchdown of the year. Not for the year, excuse me, of the game. As there is a player down for Euless.
And he looks very, very much in pain. We are going to take a injury break with him. We'll be back with the last 7 minutes of this game here on Flyer Mountain Sports Network and Friday Night Glory. Josh Grant is on to kick the extra point and put the Jaguars on the scoreboard for 7 points. It will be a 34-7 game with the conversion of this extra point. And let's see it happen. Billy Sikora is the holder. It's going to be a good snap, a good kick, and it's through the uprights. Josh Grant is going to tack on the extra point. Jaguars now down only 34-7. They will not be shut out tonight, as our wonderful Jaguar running team with the flags are making their way all the way across the field. We will take a break, back with the last 7:01 of this game and the Jaguar kickoff on Fly Mountain Sports Network and Friday Night Glory. Jaguars look like they're going to go for the onside kick here. They have pretty much nothing to lose, as he's got his hands team to his right, and we'll see this skill that he has developed. Nope, they're going to pooch it to the Euless player at the 10-yard line, and he is going to run, and he has space to the right side. He's got blockers. He's got one man to beat Josh Grant, the kicker. He's going to cut in and out, weaving his way through the defense, and that was number 31, Nigel Blount, with the return. They tried to strategically place that kick, and it ended up coming back to bite him.
I'll tell you something, though. If the Jaguars decided to onside it and they didn't come up with it, that's about where they would have started with. That's where Euless probably would have started with field position. So,
and that's
losing
about
much?
right.
Are you losing much? Well,
easier
yes and no.
easier said than done with us being up here in the booth. But there are definitely some times when we think that the Jaguars could have risked it all because it ended up costing them the touchdown. I mean, Euless ended up scoring the touchdown anyway, so might as well just cut your losses and get the ball back in your possession earlier, as they're going to hand it off to Mr. Greg Garner, and he is going to go untouched into the end zone. That is going to be another touchdown for Euless, and they are making a mockery of this Flower Mound defense. One play at a time.
And, man, it's just hard to see. These Jaguars came into this game so excited, so eager to get out there and play. And for once in so long, they had a shot at the playoffs. And you hate to see it go down like this. You don't hate to see them lose, because you hate to see them lose, but you know it's a good season. You hate to see them lose this bad. If it's a close game, that
at least there's positives to pull from it. I cannot, other than one touchdown and a pretty well put together drive from Jackson Averett, I cannot think of very many positives. We knew that this defense struggled against the run game. The Jaguars ended up coming back from a 14-point deficit last week against Marcus, and that was pretty much all because Marcus's star running back Justin Dinka went out with an injury, and their offense suffered because of it. But once he came back in the game, the Jaguars had no answer for an injured Justin Dinka. And you look back at Anthony Smith for Fossil Ridge, you look at the running back number 6 for Hebron, and then you look at the defensive back Greg Garner, who is in the backfield for Euless, and you see similar things. And you even look at the wide receiver for Timber Creek, who had a touchdown run against the Jaguars on a wide receiver pitch play that he broke a tackle from about every single player on the team, just bouncing off of players like a pinball. And you see these things happen week after week, and obviously easier said than done to change it, but it looks like the Jaguars are still struggling with the exact same thing, that the defense just cannot stop a very big and very quick and physical running back. As Ryan Johnson is going to run down the sidelines, he's got room to run. He's going to cut back into the middle of the field. He's going to get down to the 49-yard line. Good return there from Ryan Johnson, and he gives the Jaguars great field position to try and come back and score a touchdown, salvage something from this game. Just trying to pull positives.
Ryan Johnson, I believe, is committed to play at Howard Payne University. I believe he would be a pretty dynamic kick returner for that team. He's been great tonight on the kick returns. He's had 2 returns to the 50-yard line. A lot of opportunities, though.
And this is a great thing not a great thing to see, but pretty cool from Coach Basil. He stuck a lot of seniors out there that have not gotten a lot of playing time, being able to hit the field for the last time. We see Cole Cowan out there. We see number 86, Andrew Bowman. Some players that we have not called their name at all this season because they've not seen the field or seen it very little, but
number 34,
they are going to get a chance to see the field here on senior night.
And Josh Vieira in at running back. We've seen him a few times tonight.
That's Cole Cowan with the reception there for a gain of around 8 yards, and he will be close to the first down.
Number 27, Ryan Narrow is going to make his way onto the field, and number 82, Cameron Hart, also going to make his way onto the field. I like seeing this. Although yes, you want to try and make some big plays. It's senior night. Get them out there. Let them enjoy their last night playing here at Flower Mound High School.
They're going to give it to Vieira, and Vieira's going to cut through the center of the offensive line and defensive line, and he will get a gain of around 8 yards there. And that's going to be a first down for the Jaguars. And Averett's going to pass it to, that's a screen, all the way down to number 27, Ryan Narrow.
And number 99 for the Euless Trinity Trojans, Kyle Lee, was throwing punches all over the place. I would think they throw him out of this game.
They've got to kick him out. That's unbelievable.
There is a flag down, obviously. But, I mean, don't you throw the player out of the game for fighting?
100%. He should not be allowed to play the rest of this game. It's not really a big deal, but it's more the principle of it as they pull him off the sidelines, but he should be ejected.
Yeah, that was, I mean, it was just wailing on a kid. And that's
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense.
And that's a first down for the Jaguars. So 1st and 10. Let's see where they spot the ball.
It looks like they're not going to toss him out of the game. Really no reason to.
I mean, yes, it's the moral principle of throwing him out of the game because it's very
punching
wrong.
somebody. He's sitting there just
I mean, it wasn't just
wailing.
one or two punches.
No, he was throwing hands left and right.
10 seconds of 20 to 25 punches thrown. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous.
And Averett's going to drop back. He's looking for a wide receiver, and he's got a wide open Max Wadding who cannot come up with the catch. It was thrown a little bit behind him. He had a lot of open room. Jackson just couldn't complete the pass. And
wouldn't be surprised if you see Landon Sadler maybe make an appearance near 1 minute, 30 seconds, maybe a minute left in the game. He's a senior backup quarterback. Maybe see him maybe do a knee, take a kneel.
Throw the ball, run some plays.
Not risk Avery getting injured for next week.
Because the Jaguars still a very, very slim chance, but a chance nonetheless to possibly make it to the playoffs. They're going to need a lot of help as Averett hands the ball off to Vieira, and he will get tackled as Ryan Narrow and Cameron Hart are going to come on at wide receiver, taking Cole Cowan and number 80, that is Nathan Yu, off the field. And it's going to be 3rd down and 11 for the Jaguars. Just over 4 minutes left here in the 4th quarter of play. And Averett's going to drop back, and he's looking to pass. He's going to throw a screen to Vieira. Vieira's got room to run. He's going to break a tackle, and he's going to get all the way down to the 4-yard line. Great play there by Josh Vieira to let his blockers out in front and make a few cuts. And he's going to get within the 5-yard line. And the Jaguars are in scoring position yet again. 2nd drive in a row. Just 4 yards away from scoring 2 consecutive touchdowns.
And like I said, you want to leave this game with a little momentum, a little push maybe, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. It's nice to see.
Averett's going to roll out to the right, and he's looking for somebody to throw it to, and he will throw it out of bounds.
And a big turn of events in the Trophy Club Byron Nelson game and Flower Mound Marcus. Flower Mound Marcus has taken the lead with a touchdown, making the score 22-21 with 2 minutes 48 seconds to play. Justin Dinka last week ran all over the Flower Mound Jaguars, and this week he's back at his old tricks, running all over. Byron Nelson has 146 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And Trinity is going to go and take a timeout here. We'll take it with them. The last 3:34 of this Trinity Trojan Flower Mound Jaguar game back on Flower Mound Sports Network and Friday Night Glory. And Jackson Averett on the 3-yard line at second down, and he is getting pressured by the Trinity defense, and he's going to throw the pass to Max Wadding, and that is 37 for Euless. Donovan Abdullah, but it's D-Dula with the tackle there as he stops Wadding short of the end zone. It will now be 3rd down and 3. 3 yards to go before the Jaguars punch in another touchdown.
I will take away one positive from this game. We get to leave here at probably 10:30.
That is a positive.
That is definitely a positive, as there's a fumble.
And Josh Vera gets rocked.
You could call that a late hit if you want. But
that's momentum.
It's too much.
They're going so
too much chaos
fast.
on the play. He was hit while he was on his knees, but I don't know that he had the ball. So, you could call it, but it's probably not a good call.
It's really not worth it. It's laying the game. Jaguars down 41-7. It's 4th down and about 7, as that's going to be a false start on the. We'll see what they call it on. It looked like it was initially on the defense, but
they're going to call it on the Jaguars, I believe. And we were saying, we get to leave here at 10:30 most likely tonight, and usually we're leaving here at, 11:15, 11:30?
Very late. This
and
playing Euless has its perks.
And I'm not getting to bed until 12:30 maybe, so this is nice.
We've got a big weekend ahead of us. You got some plans to, volleyball game tomorrow.
Volleyball game, that's right.
If you're a Jag fan and you want to go watch some phenomenal volleyball, your Flymount Jaguar Lady Jaguar volleyball team will be playing in the playoffs against Euless Trinity. They are trying to play in. That's going to be at Byron Nelson.
At 4 o'clock. So if you could make it, it's pink out. The Lady Jags would love your support.
And Josh Vieira is going to get knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. That was a good try, but
so close.
That just shows how good this Euless defense is. They do not have a man out of place. Jaguars have not had a completion over about 15 yards and only 1 touchdown, and Euless will get the ball at their own 1-yard line with 2:08 left in this game.
And some more announcements for you. Let me grab this guy. We would love for you guys to follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at FMSN, at the FMSN, for some updates on that. And we will be starting basketball season here.
Very excited for that.
In a couple weeks. Very excited for the start of that.
They're going to hand it off to Courage Kine, and he will run it about to the 4-yard line. Football next week, the 4th of November at 7:30 at Louisville Stadium. That will be the final game of the season. Volleyball, again, in the hunt for the playoffs. They will play on Saturday.
They actually are in the playoffs. It's the first round's tomorrow, I believe.
I think that it might be a play-in game.
Is it a play-in game?
I think that it's within, if it's within the district, there was a play-in game to play into the play-in game.
That's right.
Because it was a 3-way
We won the
tie.
coin toss to not have to play in the first play-in game. That's right, Shepard. That's my fault.
So it is not it will be before, it's the pre-first round. It's like in the round of 64 in the NCAA basketball championships. That starts the first round, but there are play-in games before that. And so that is what it will be. It will be a district matchup. The Lady Jags trying to pull off a win there. And basketball, Meet the Jags, is Thursday, November 3rd at 7 o'clock. Come out and meet your girls and boys teams. We are very excited to see what the Jaguars have in store for this season, with the senior John Scully committed to Army and Adam Jaworski, the senior point guard as well.
And we will be there as well. We'd love to. If you're a listener, we'd love to meet you and talk basketball with you and talk football with you. It's our jobs, and we love to do it.
And if you need autographs as well, we will have pens on hand.
If you want,
if you want to get some autographs from the voices of the Flower Mound Jaguars, as that is what we are. And cross country will be starting their Region 6A championships the 29th of October. I think that is tomorrow in Lubbock. We wish them good luck.
And we have that cross country team is very good. A big chance at going to state this year.
But let's talk about the best, the statistically in the nation, the best part of our school. That's the band.
That is the band. They are number 1 in the country. That's right, the country. And
that's going to do it for the game, as it will be a sack there from the Jaguars. That will end senior night. Euless Trinity Trojans defeat your Flower Mound Jaguars 41-7. We will see you guys next week at Louisville Stadium. That's all for us tonight. Alongside Hayden Bumpus, Kurt Watson, the director on Shepherd Branch. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.